Yang berbahagia Tan Sri Bernard Dompok, Chairman SME Corporation Malaysia. Yang berbahagia Tan Sri Datuk Majid Khan, Chairman of the KSI Strategic Institute for Asia Pacific. Yang berbahagia Tan Sri Michael Yeo, President of KSI Strategic Institute. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to all of you. It is really an honor and a distinct pleasure for me to address the Malaysian SME National Conference. I was just asking my colleagues if we'd done this before, and apparently, certainly not since the pandemic. Let me join others before me this morning in congratulating the joint organizers for putting this important event together. Supporting the development of SMEs is a long-standing priority for Bank Negara as part of our efforts to promote an inclusive financial system. It is also crucial to Malaysia's long-term growth prospects, given the critical role that SMEs play in encouraging innovation and broadening economic participation through job creation. No less than a quarter of the strategies, there are about 43 or more strategies laid out in the financial sector blueprint that we issued. No less than a quarter of these include a specific focus on SMEs. Similarly, SMEs, as you know, remain a key focus segment under various national master plans that have been announced by the government, including the new Industrial Master Plan and the National Energy Transition Roadmap. SMEs are also an important business segment for banks. In 2023, financing to SMEs comprised almost half of the total outstanding business financing of banks, with a total of 528 billion ringgit in total financing disbursed by banks into 2.28 million SME accounts. Bank Negara has allocated a further 32.4 billion ringgit in funds to further enhance access to financing for SMEs in strategic and new growth areas. And if there was still any doubt that this is an issue that we care deeply about in the bank, I counted last night at least 7 departments in Bank Negara that work on various different aspects of financing issues concerning SMEs. Over past decades, we have made a lot of progress to build a comprehensive system of support for financing SMEs. This includes the establishment of institutions to drive and coordinate SME development at a national level, the expansion of credit guarantee schemes, reducing barriers to information for credit assessments through CCRIS and private credit bureaus, numerous facilitation programs, and debt resolution arrangements to help rehabilitate small businesses. These efforts have been crucial to level up and scale SME financing by traditional banks in Malaysia. And as I've already mentioned, financing to SMEs make up almost half of total business financing by banks today. But the path forward to deliver an effective SME financing strategy in support of Malaysia's economic aspirations will need to go beyond banks and beyond lending to close the SME funding gap. Given the diversity of SMEs and their financing needs, we believe a more complete solution to the SME financing challenge must address efforts in 3 equal parts. First, enhancing the traditional role of banks and bank financing while recognizing that there are limitations of bank financing, particularly at earlier stages of the life cycle of new and innovative firms. Second, developing and deepening alternative sources of financing to complement traditional bank financing. And third, strengthening firm-level factors to improve the ability of SMEs to gain affordable access to finance. Important strides have been made to advance efforts on all of these fronts. Through innovative modalities such as iTekat, which blends philanthropic and commercial funds to provide seed capital and microfinancing to micro entrepreneurs alongside specific hand-holding and capacity building support. Credit guarantee institutions such as the CGC or the Credit Guarantee Corporation have introduced portfolio guarantees to provide credit enhancements at greater speed and scale for borrowers that lack collateral and track records. Scheme Chakna, a liquidity scheme introduced in 2021, has also been successfully expanded to help SMEs manage their cash flows by leveraging on their contracts with the government. The IMSME online referral platform, launched also by CGC, has helped reduce SMEs' search effort and costs for loans by matching their financing needs with relevant financing options from multiple providers, both banks and non-banks, thus addressing an important pain point faced by SMEs in sourcing suitable financing. This is complemented by the Khidmat Nasihat Pembiayaan platform, or MyKNP, which provides advice to help unsuccessful financing applicants to improve their eligibility for future financing. Now, banks will continue to play an important role in the SME financing ecosystem, and there is still considerable room to further evolve their role, particularly in the area of enabling lending decisions based on alternative data and supporting larger ticket, longer tenure, and flexible financing solutions through risk-sharing arrangements that will not expose depositor funds to excessive risk. Here we are also making important strides. The entry of digital banks and alternative fundraising platforms such as crowdfunding and P2P lending platforms that offer different business models, different risk appetites, and innovative approaches to credit assessments will contribute to the expansion and diversification of funding sources for SMEs. In addition, development financial institutions are being strengthened to play a bigger role in supporting financing to SMEs. The ongoing restructuring of DFIs announced by the government will enlarge their financing capacity while improving synergies and economies of scale to support financial flows to higher risk segments. This includes helping banks evolve their approach to SME financing through risk-sharing arrangements, as well as developing alternative non-bank funding sources. In parallel, we continue to leverage on Bank Negara funds for SMEs to better address financing gaps and encourage financial flows in more impactful areas of development. One example of this is our ongoing collaboration with the government to curate end-to-end tech adoption programs for SMEs that will include elements of tech advisory, capacity building, financing, and proportionate incentives to encourage participation. And of course, ongoing efforts to develop SME capital market segments and private equity or venture capital financing are also important. Now, notwithstanding these efforts, we recognize that there are pockets of SMEs that continue to face challenges in accessing finance. We have looked at this issue very closely, and the evidence that we have suggests that these challenges are commonly associated with a history of credit defaults, uncertain repayment capacity, and business management concerns. This underscores the importance of the third area that I mentioned earlier, which is the need to strengthen SMEs themselves as a necessary precondition to improving access to finance. Through programs like iTekat and Bank Negara's SME funds, we continue to collaborate with relevant SME agencies and associations to integrate technical training, financial capacity, capability, and business support services with financing support. Following the significant impact on SMEs from the pandemic crisis, we significantly scaled up the capacity of AKPK, Agency Counseling and Pengurusan Credit, to help SMEs improve their financial resilience and resolve debt problems. And we continue to intensify our financial literacy efforts which reached more than 6.3 million individuals, Malaysians, including SME entrepreneurs in 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, looking ahead, SMEs will need to contend with emerging mega trends that will fundamentally shape future business prospects of SMEs. One such trend that I want to talk about today is the growing global momentum of transitions to sustainable or green business practices. The case for transition towards more sustainable practices is by now well established, not just as a socially responsible response to business, it is vital for long-term business survival. For some businesses, it is already having an impact on performance and access to funding as demand for climate-related disclosures increase and become more commonplace. For Malaysia, the stakes are high. It is estimated that 20% of Malaysia's GDP and 23% of our workforce are associated with hard-to-abate sectors of our economy. Based on the National Energy Transition Roadmap, the Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism introduced by the EU has the potential to impact as much as 57% of Malaysia's total exports to the EU by 2026. 60% of SMEs that were surveyed claim that they are looking to increase business opportunities and create long-term value by strengthening ESG practices and will need help to do so. Malaysia faces sizable GDP losses from flood damages materializing within the present decade without adaptation measures and investments to build supply chain resiliency. This is backed by findings from a recently published joint research project that we undertook together with the World Bank. This underscores the urgency for SMEs to transition. Adopting sustainable practices would strengthen SMEs' resilience to climate risks, as well as facilitate access to affordable financial protection and sustainability-linked financing. Conversely, physical and transition risks, if not well managed, could lead to significant disruptions to business activity, property damage, and a potentially irreversible erosion in economic value. Through the Joint Committee on Climate Change, which Bank Negara co-chairs with the Securities Commission, significant efforts are being made to support transition efforts by SMEs. Let me mention a few. The Green Value Chain Financing Program with Bursa Malaysia has enabled more than 330 participating SMEs operating within the supply chains of large corporates to start measuring and reporting their GHG emissions through a combination of capacity building, technology adoption, as well as financing support. A dedicated SME focus group has now been established under JC3, the Joint Committee, to provide a more targeted focus and strategy with the aim of accelerating the transition and adoption of sustainable practices and business models by SMEs. The JC3 SME Focus Group has delivered several key initiatives to help SMEs get started on and to advance their transition journey. The ESG Jumpstart portal is a one-stop online information hub for SMEs to access foundational information, resources, tools, and guidance to jumpstart their sustainable journey. BNM has also made available a 1 billion ringgit low-carbon transition facility established on a matching basis with participating financial institutions to help SMEs embrace sustainable and low-carbon practices in their operations. We aim to further increase support for financing to businesses that can develop and scale green technologies and processes, or that are making meaningful efforts to transition to a low-carbon model. Financial institutions are also ramping up their own capacity to advise and provide technical support to SMEs on their transition journey, including in risk management and disclosure practices. These efforts are crucial to ensure alignment between banks' business and risk strategies with the transition path of their clients who are SMEs. Ladies and gentlemen, SME financing is an ongoing challenge and a crucial one for economic development and progress. Although the share of bank financing to SMEs is high relative to their current contribution to GDP, our goal is not to claim victory by a finite point in time, but rather to ensure through effective policy interventions that the broader financial system, beyond banks and beyond traditional forms of lending, is working to adapt and respond to SME financing needs. To do this, we will need to continue to engage closely with the SME community to understand your issues and challenges, and where relevant, to support your progress and development beyond financing. As these needs will continue to change over time, innovation is key. It goes without saying that we cannot do this alone. In any country, the agenda of uplifting SMEs calls for a whole-of-nation approach. Government and financial policies play a critical role, but so does the willingness of banks to evolve current approaches. SMEs themselves also need to be more actively engaged in strengthening their own financial and business capabilities. Bank Negara remains committed to working closely with partners within the industry and government. We will continue efforts to crowd in private sector financing while highlighting policy considerations and necessary reforms in the process. And we count on industry associations, think tanks, experts to continue playing an active role as an aggregation point for SMEs, helping to raise awareness, co-create solutions, and disseminate vital information. So on that note, I thank you very much for your attention and wish you a productive conference. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again to Dato' Jessica Chew and Tan Sri Michael Yeo for a truly illuminating session. Your perspective on SME financing are crucial for our collective journey towards sustainable growth and innovation. I would like to invite both of them to stand in front of the stage for a photo session, please.